Beach FM Saturday Sports Breakfast.
Welcome back to Beach FM Sport with Damian, and it is great honour of mine to welcome in the next guest. He is a World Cup winner and a Hurricane Centurion, and after a quick spell pre-retirement, he is now back in the Hurricanes fold as the assistant coach. Ladies and gentlemen, Cory J. G'day, CJ.
How are you, man?
I'm good, bro. How are you holding up during this time?
It's good. It is what it is. You just got to deal with it and move on and see what happens. But I'm at home with the kids and wife and 2 dogs, so we're getting through it.
Yeah, you're getting through it. How's the homeschooling going?
A bit better today. We've had a couple of decent cracks at it over the lockdown period. I lasted about 3 minutes and then got told off by the kids that you couldn't talk to kids like that. Because I started getting frustrated, but I said back in my day the teachers did. So, but we're a bit better, a bit more understanding. We've got a bit of work from the school, so we've kind of got a routine now to put in place for the kids.
Awesome, mate, and a couple of teachers in the family. Yeah. Let's go back to January, mate. It was a simpler time. We had rugby, and you had taken a step up to the assistant coach role with the Hurricanes. How did that come about, mate? And what is a bit of a shock going from assistant coach with the Lions last year to in the mix?
So I started in end of November, early December. I think when the talk around the All Black was going to happen and whether Plumtree was going to go or Ian Foster was going to get the job and Plum was going to go in there too. So had a bit of a chat with the Hurricanes camp, and they just said, look, if he does go up, then there's a potential that, we obviously need a coach. And if he goes, it'll be defence. And that's what I did with the Lions. So he said there was potential that I might get an opportunity. And so just waited around for a little bit, and then Plum got the job, and then I got called in there. So I was there for 2 days in December while they had their pre-season. So they didn't do any or not much defence, and then we're trying to hit the ground running for January when we came back. And it was tough in a sense that, had a short pre-season and then we whipped off overseas. So, it was so hot, it was mid-30s, both in Cape Town and in Buenos Aires as well. So, we couldn't be out on the field for too long because of the heat. So you got limited training. But mate, I enjoy it. I enjoy competing and trying to get the boys ready. And, so that's where it all started.
Well, last time we talked, you were very much new to the role. What's been your biggest learnings becoming a coach, more of a coach? Look,
there's plenty of learnings. I get learnings every week, and obviously I'm young into it, but admittedly I back myself and I try and learn. And the biggest one will probably be not to overfeed the players. I'll get up there and I'll have a game plan or how we're going to try to stop teams. And sometimes I get carried away, and I'll stand up there and I'll try to give the guys all the answers. A lot of there's different levels of learning within the players, and some of them just look at me confused because I've said too much, where it's just trying to be a bit more direct on what I say and give them a couple of learning, a couple of focus points, and kind of take it from there. So that'd be the biggest one.
And after a tweet I saw of thinking of coming out of retirement, do you still get in rub shoulders with the boys at training?
No, I don't. I did it with the Lions, and I'll never do it again. Last year we played a game and our tackle percentage was down. It was pretty average, to be honest. And there was a handful of the boys that didn't have their best defensive game. So after training, I grabbed them and I said, "You guys come over here to the tackle mats." And they just thought it was another tackle drill. And I said, "I'm going to run the ball at you, and you have to smash me. And if you smash me, you can go. If you don't, get back up and we go again." And I've retired and old and I haven't done any rugby or weights. So I went at them. I ended up getting tackled about 25 times, and I was bruised and my body was sore for a couple of days after that. And I said to myself, I'm never ever going to go do that and try and send a message that way again.
Absolutely outstanding, mate. How have you been? How have you kept the players engaged? I know you've got a mix of them, from veterans to just young ones. How have you found that with them?
Look, it's obviously tough for the lads. We have video call meetings. We're dropped into groups and outside backs and insides and the tight forwards and all that. So different coaches and trainers get in there and have those meetings with the guys, and it's more so just chat. How's everyone going? What's been happening? What's something different? Not necessarily rugby, because it's you don't know when rugby's going to start up. So it's just making sure that everyone's all good and staying connected, and that chats in that sense. They've had training programs, but obviously you got to look at it like some guys have gym setups in their house, or a few like a watt bike or a squat rack or whatever, and some guys have absolutely nothing. So it's different between a lot of them. I think the main thing is just not to really overthink them with rugby. It's just keep them talking, keep them communicating with each other, and make sure that everyone's doing fine and safe.
Nice one. Hey, mate, you've been around, you play with a lot of names. During lockdown, who would be the worst person to be in lockdown with?
Worst person? TJ, I assume would be pretty bad if I was, just because, he's real competitive, and it'd be cool because I am too, but I just don't think the lockdown will go well, because there'll be a lot of arguing and fighting, and maybe even a couple of throwing. So he's right up there. A guy like Israel Deg, who's different. I wasn't with him in the Hurricanes, but in the All Blacks, and he'd be terrible because some of the stuff that he puts on social media about him cleaning the house and all that kind of rubbish is an absolute made up story, because he stinks and everything's a mess at his house. So I'm quite messy as well. I don't smell as bad as him, but I'm quite messy with my clothes and leaving stuff around. So that wouldn't go well together. So those are just a couple of names. I could probably throw out 1,000 more, but we'll leave it at that.
So do you reckon Izzy would be the one struggling with personal hygiene during this time of cleaning your hands?
Well, he struggled without it in the first place. So I doubt that he would have done much washing to his hands. Mind you, if there is anything that he would wash, it would probably be in his hands.
Yeah.
So he might have learnt a little bit, but probably not.
Outstanding, mate. And lastly, we've seen a lot of little talents at home from a couple of legends, Carlos Spencer and Christian Cullen, but not a lot from another one that loves a trick shot, Cory Jane. Will we see more trick shots in the last week of Level 4?
Nah, not from here. I did that years ago with the All Blacks, me and Izzy and all them. Catching sausages behind my back and all that kind of stuff. So, we threw it out years ago. These guys are just trying to do it now, but I think it's cool. Everyone's in lockdown. You've got to kind of keep the morale going, and I could show you some cool trick shots when my kids are naughty and send them to their room. That's a cool trick shot. Doesn't really work, and I never get it in. So, but different stuff like that. I've got to deal with that kind of rubbish. But yeah, I'm not good at patience-wise standing out there and trying to kick things into a basketball hoop, because if I keep missing, I get angry and wild, and the basketball hoop might break. So I'll leave it up to him.
Would you be one of those people that would keep going until you got it?
Absolutely. If I set my task to it and I had to do it, I would have had to get it done. So I just don't think it's, we've got plenty of time to do it, but I just think just try to keep myself level-headed. So can't afford that stress. Not while I'm here.
Fair enough. Plus, you set the standard years ago with sausages. Hey, mate, I appreciate your time. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. T-sauce, Nook. I appreciate your time, mate. Go well. Any final words for the Hurricane region out there?
No, we just got to, stay safe. I think it's obviously bigger than rugby at the moment. So as long as everyone just keeps doing what is supposed to be done, stay in your bubble, keep safe. And then once that's done, we can start moving on to trying to get on the rugby field and play some rugby. And we need sport, but we've got to be safe first.
That's the one, CJ. Well, thank you so much for your time. All the best to your bubble. Stay safe, and can't wait to see you guys out there again soon.
All good.